I've been contemplating making this video for a while, talking about my religion and all this stuff more on this channel. But first of all, I just want to say that I'm not trying to push my religion onto you guys. I'm just making this video simply for myself and so that maybe you guys can benefit from this and maybe gain some knowledge from it as well. But without further ado, I want to just talk about religion and Ramadan in general. I'm a Muslim, so I fast for Ramadan. And the thing that's really keeping me disciplined, I always talk about these things. Oh, yeah, this is how you stay disciplined. This is how you stay disciplined. This is how you stay productive and all this stuff. You need to work out. You need to do this. And while these are very important things, and while a lot of people do preach this stuff, and I 100% agree with them, and I 100% like to preach about this stuff because I truly think that it's beneficial, a lot of my discipline just comes from religion itself. I feel like without religion, I wouldn't be as disciplined of a person as I would be today. Literally all the mental discipline that I've gained is mainly from religion, and I've noticed that when you practice your religion more, you become a lot more mentally disciplined, especially in this month of Ramadan, because you're not eating, you're not fasting, you're staying celibate. Well, you have to stay celibate anyways if you're not married or anything, but literally, like, it's everything is heightened to another level. You're being religious to another level. If a person doesn't have religion, they're going to be significantly less disciplined than if they were to have religion. So if you have the religious discipline, you're automatically going to be able to have the mental discipline to accomplish these physical tasks like working out, like being more productive. You're automatically going to be able to have the mental discipline to accomplish those tasks throughout your day. When you have a month where you don't eat, where you don't drink, so you stay celibate, you don't backbite other people, you don't gossip, you pray more, you get closer to religion and all this stuff, you get closer to your God. I feel like when this all happens, when you become more religious, you become more disciplined. And when you have a month where you become more religious, you automatically become more disciplined. And I've already noticed this myself as I've become to practice my religion more in this month of Ramadan and all this stuff. It's been a lot more easy for me to be able to work out and for me to be able to do the hard work, even if I'm like tired or whatever, even if I'm hungry or anything. Regardless if I'm tired or if I'm hungry or if I'm thirsty or whatever, it's still easier for me to accomplish the harder task. And so I've noticed that in this month where I've become more religiously disciplined, I've been able to gain the mental discipline to be able to accomplish the physical tasks which I need to get done in my day, such as working out, such as being more productive, and writing down these YouTube ideas and all this stuff. And a lot of people, when they think of this month of Ramadan and all this stuff, the first thing that they think of is, oh yeah, no food, no water. That's the first thing that comes into people's head, especially Muslims' head, when they think about Ramadan, no food, no water. That's it. But Ramadan is a lot more deep than that. This month is a lot more deep than that. And if you're not Muslim and you just think that it's, oh, no food, no water, you're missing like half the picture. Because this month for Muslims, I know a lot of people might not even like pay attention to this part of the month, but the majority of this month is just becoming more disciplined and becoming more spiritually close to God and to become more close with your religion. And that's what the essence of this month is. You become more practicing, and you especially this part, you abstain from your temptations and your desires. Before this month, your temptations might be running wild and all this stuff, but when you're fasting, you're not allowed to indulge in any of those temptations. Because if you do indulge in any of those temptations, A, your fast might be broken in extreme cases, or B, your fast might be like completely watered down to the point where you might not even get any reward for him, or you might get very little reward for it. Because that's the consequence that comes with temptations. And that's why we abstain from temptations, because we want to get the reward of this month and we want to become more physically disciplined ourselves. So when you have a month where you're forced to abstain from your temptations, what do you think happens? You become a lot more mentally disciplined. And this all happens because you're practicing your religion more. This all happens because I was practicing my religion more. And as a result, I've been able to avoid my temptations, my urges a lot easier. What has that made it easier for me to do? It's made it easier for me to work out and do all these productive tasks which were so hard for me to do before. I'm not saying they were extremely hard, but they were harder to do before than they are right now. Because I didn't have the mental discipline due to the lack of the religious discipline which I had before. Now that it's a lot easier to avoid these temptations, You already know what's gonna happen. When you avoid your temptations and urges, you become a lot more disciplined as an individual. And that's exactly what's happening to me and a lot of other people who have made the most out of this month. I'm not saying that I have made the most out of this month or I haven't, that's only for God to judge. But I'm just saying in general, when you make this month what it's actually meant for, you become a much more disciplined person. Because think about this, you're waking up early in the morning, you're depriving yourself of your temptations, of your urges, of your food, of your water. And food and water is such a big concern for so many people. So many people are obese and fat and all this stuff. So this in itself is a temptation. You know, for me, I'm just trying to eat a lot of food. But for a lot of people, for the majority of people who are really fat and all this stuff, bro, this is their main temptation. Food and water. So when you're abstaining from all these temptations, your hunger and all this stuff, your thirst, your sexual desires and all this stuff, bro, you become a lot more disciplined. And I think that the majority of you guys who are watching this who are Muslim can kind of understand why this makes you more disciplined. This, of course, all depends on what you make of this Ramadan, you know? If someone's lazy, if someone just sleeps throughout the entire day, like, admittedly, I have before. I'm not saying that is against my religion or if it's like allowed in my religion. I'm not saying any of that, right? But sometimes people do sleep a lot, including me. I've done this before as well. You know, but when people are lazy in this Ramadan, bro, they don't gain any of the rewards, any of the discipline that they would have gained if they were just working hard, if they were just toughing it out. So it really all depends on what you make of this month. So the people who have made the most out of this month, and I'm not trying to say that I made the most out of this month because only God is there to judge that, but I'm just saying in general, the people who have made the most out of this month are always going to come out the most disciplined and are always going to be able to perform the physical tasks like working out, like being more productive. They're always going to be able to perform those tasks a lot easier than they were before this month. I'm just saying, bro, you guys need to take religion more seriously because religion is the backbone for all types of discipline. If you have religious discipline, you can easily conquer all these other tasks that you need to do in your day. And religion is something which is so overlooked in this space, whatever you want to call it, self-improvement, whatever you want to call it, right? All these guys are always talking about working out and like being more productive and all this stuff. And while these things are extremely good, and I do preach it and I do 100% agree with them, right? 100% agree with them. I'm not saying that they're bad. Bro, I literally preach this on my channel. What gets really overlooked in this space is religion. You know, and I feel like if you have the religious discipline, then it's gonna be a lot easier to accomplish all these other tasks. And so many people in this space, in this, you know, a lot of people who make videos like the ones that I'm making, they don't really have religion, you know, and as a result, you see them sleeping with women a lot and being, you know, a slave to their desires a lot more. So yeah, that's all I want to say. My name is JBM. Focus on your goals, stay disciplined, take care, peace.